So the topic is coordinate geometry or coordinate system and graphs. Okay. This chapter, this topic, in this topic basically, what we learn it here. We shall review the concept of locating a point on a plane. Okay. In Cartesian plane, solving of some geometrical problems using concepts of algebraic, or you can say that the algebra is known as coordinate geometry. Okay. So also we shall learn to draw the graph of linear equation in two variables. Okay. So this we will learn in this topic. What we learn it? The concept of locating a point on a plane. Okay. Then other is solving of some geometrical problems using concept of algebra is known as coordinate geometry. Okay. And then we also learn to draw the graph of linear equation in two variables. So all are learned in this topic. Okay. First, try to understand what is ordered pair. What is ordered pair? Should I write it in a capital? What is ordered pair? A pair of numbers A and B listed in a specific order with A at the first place and B at the second place is called an ordered pair. Suppose 6, 3. Okay. So A is at first place and B is at second place, right? So this is called a ordered pair.
Can you repeat what you said first?
Should I write it the definition for
Yes,
your future? Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Fine. Write down quickly, okay? A pair of number, actually, I'm starting with a very fundamental concept. We are starting with a very depth.
Yeah.
So you will understand particular way. A pair of number.
I know this, but still, like, sometimes
Yes.
to study.
Okay. A pair of numbers A and B. A and B is two first place and the second place of the coordinate. Okay. So A and B. So A and B we can replace with any number. A and B listed in a specific order specific, we can't change. Okay, I will tell you the variations. Specific order with A at the first place, A at the first place and B of the second place. B of the second place is called an ordered pair. In the next grade, you will learn the functions, okay? Quadratic functions, the coordinate functions. So, ordered pair is a very, very important part, okay? This is very basic, fundamental. Okay, anyways, ordered pair AB, okay? Now, come to the example, so you will understand perfectly. So, now, in this case, how you will write it? Suppose 6, 3. This is one ordered pair. The other is 3, 4. Okay. So 6 is at first place, 3 of the second place. Same. 3 is at first place, 4 is the second place. Now I will explain what is place, okay, after this. Now, very important thing here, please note down, star mark, okay. So, A comma B means ordered pair. I am using the different pens. A comma B, you can't be write it B comma A. Ordered pair is always be the same sequence, okay. When we use in the questions, now I will tell you which type of question. So A comma B is one ordered pair. You can't be write it B order A. When you change the place, okay, then when you change the place, the meaning will different, okay. So don't change the place. Use with the same place. Why? I will tell you later, because A is at an x-axis, B is at y-axis. If you change the place, the axis will change, which is not possible in the Cartesian plane. Okay, got it? Important part. Note down with a star mark. Don't change the sequence, like subtractions, right? So A comma B is one ordered pair, but you can't be write it. It's not equal to B comma A. B comma A is a different ordered pair, but you can't. This B comma A is a different ordered pair. You can't be change the sequence like a property. We learn it the properties, na, integers, numbers, rational number. There is a subtraction and division property. If you change the order, the meaning will different. Okay, understood? Now, this is the Cartesian coordinate system. What is this? So, Cartesian or rectangular is same, okay? Cartesian or rectangular coordinate axis. You can say that, okay? Cartesian or rectangular coordinate axis. What does this mean? Now we will learn the terminology of this thing. So suppose the coordinate plane is formed by two perpendicular number lines called x-axis and y-axis. Okay, intersect at a origin. Okay, now first I am explaining and then we'll write. See, number line, you learn it in the smaller grade, like only x-axis. Okay, this is the number line, this is x-axis and this is y-axis. Now the coordinate plane is formed by two perpendicular number lines. See, this is the number line, this is the number line, two perpendicular. Perpendicular means, what is the meaning of perpendicular? It's a 90 degree. Okay, yeah. So perpendicular lines called the x-axis and the y-axis, which intersect at the origin, which we call it a O. Generally we are giving the name, 99% we are giving the name O. Okay. The axis divided the planes into 4 quadrants. How you will be divided this? 4 quadrant. Do you know 4 quadrant?
Yeah.
So XO X dash, what you call XO X dash, YO Y dash, there is a two perpendicular lines through point O in the plane of graph paper. X-axis the horizontal line, right? X-axis is the horizontal line. XO X dash is called the x-axis or axis of A. What you call it? A x-axis or axis of X. Okay?
Should I use this paper?
Yeah, sure. You can use it.
Okay.
If you have the graph paper, that would be great. Otherwise, you can
I
use
left
any.
it at school. I have it. I left it at school.
No problem. Now, next, horizontal line. Y-axis, x-axis is the horizontal line and y-axis is the vertical line, right? Vertical line, y dash is called, now I am explaining the terminology, okay, as of now. So, y dash is called the y-axis or axis of y, okay? What you call it, a y-axis or axis of y. Now, coordinate axis. The two lines x, o, x dash, okay, x, o, x dash, y, o, y dash intersect at O, okay, together are called a coordinate axis, okay. Coordinate axis means when we are talking about both the axes, horizontal and vertical, then we call it a coordinate axis. What is the meaning of coordinate axis? This coordinate axis is the two lines xo x dash and yo y dash together are called the coordinate axis, okay. The point O is called the origin. The point O is called the origin. Very important, okay. Now come to the quadrants. We have 4 quadrants in this axis. Okay. This is first quadrant. This is second quadrant. This is third quadrant, and this is fourth quadrant. Always take the sequence like this only. Okay. Where first, second, third, fourth. Can't be changed the quadrant, okay? And any book, any worksheet in the world, the sequence remains the same, okay? First, second, third, fourth. Because whenever you will draw the line, you will be starting from here. So here, so this quadrant start from in this way. Why? Because when we talking about the complete angle, how you make it the complete angle? Start from this point, na? In the number line, in the angle topic. So we are starting with the 0 angle, then acute angle, 90 degree, obtuse angle. So we are starting with the this way, right? Generally, right? We have 2 ways, left and right, but generally we are using the this way. So quadrant is also going in this way, okay? Got it? So this side to this side. So quadrant is going like this. Now next. Quadrant, then the coordinate axis xo x dash and yo y dash divides the plane into 4 regions, namely xo y dash. What is the reason? Xo y dash, xo y, yo x dash, x dash o y dash and y dash o x. Basically, always remember the sign convention. So in the first quadrant, x is positive, y is positive. So both first quadrant we are using both the sign positive. In the second quadrant, x is negative, y is positive. So we used for x negative, for y positive. In the third quadrant, x is negative, y is also negative. So negative, negative. So both x and y, both will use it negative. In the fourth quadrant, x is positive, y is negative. So first positive, second is negative. This is the basic terminology of the graph or Cartesian coordinate system or rectangular coordinate axis. Okay. So this is the very important term. Always remember x for x, we call it a ordinate. Y is also called it a ordinate. When we use it together, we call it a coordinate and ordered pair. Okay? Any confusion?
No.
Now try to understand with the example. Okay? Suppose, for example, 2, 3. Okay? So the point 2, 3 has an x ordinate of 2. 2 is the x ordinate and 3 is the y ordinate. Right? 2 is x ordinate and 3 is the y ordinate, and is located at the intersection of the vertical lines that crosses the x-axis at 2. X-axis at 2. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3. So x-axis, this is 2. Okay. Now y-axis and the horizontal line that crosses the y-axis at 3. Right? So this is 1, 2 and 3. I'm not measuring here, but when you same thing you will write it in the notebook. Please use the graph book, or if you're not using the graph book, you can use the ruler. Okay? Now join.
Can I use this?
Yeah. Okay. Now.
So this is how my homework is gonna be?
Right. Okay. So 2, 3. So horizontal line that cross the y-axis at 3. So how you will write it? At this point you will write it 2, 3. Because 2 is at x-axis, 3 is at y-axis. Okay. And quadrant, you know it. Which quadrant it is this? First, second, third and fourth, as you know it. We have discussed. Okay, now come to the second example. Suppose your question is, I'm giving the first easy one. 0, 4. Where is 0 here? 0 is at origin.
Oh.
Right? 0. 0 is at x. X or y, both are same in 0. There is no difference, right? But you will check 4. 4 is where? The horizontal line that crosses the y-axis at 4. Now we need to draw the 4 also here. In the Cartesian plane, we draw it 4. Now I am extending my number line. So this part is 0, 4. Okay, because x is 0, y is 4. So this is the 0, 4 coordinate. You can draw it on the number line. Third example. Suppose 5, 0. Then how you will show on the Cartesian plane? So 5 is x. Yeah. And 0 is at y-axis. So now check. Where is 0? 0 is 0 for the x. Now come to the y-axis. No, sorry. X is 5. I need to draw more. So I'm extending here only. So this is 4. This is 5. Now x is 0 for any axis, but x or y, 0 is same for all. So only we need to check x is here. So this will be a 5, 0. Okay. 5, 0. This is this coordinate. Okay. Next, suppose -4, comma 0. And you can check the quadrant also. Both are positive, means this is in the first quadrant. 0, comma 4, this is also in the first quadrant. Okay. Then 5, comma 0, this is in the first quadrant again. Now -4 and 0. -4, where is the -4? Because -4 is at x, right? This is x and this is y. So where is the -x? -x is then left hand side. So this is -1, -2, -3 and -4. So -4, comma 0 means your, this is your ordered pair. This is your coordinate. Okay. Any confusion? One last.
No.
I am taking one last example. Actually, I am giving all type of examples. Okay. So -3 and -5. How you will plot on the number line? -3, both are what? Negative. So it will go in the third quadrant, right? X is negative, y is negative. Now come to the negative. -1, -2, -3, -4 and -5. Right? Now find it the place where they will meet. Now check. In the x-axis -3, in the y-axis -5. Okay. Now join. This is the intersecting point where both the ordinate will join together. So -3 and -5. This is this point. So the y ordinate of every point on the x-axis is 0. There is a 5 important point. Write down in the star mark. Same for the x-axis. Okay, the x ordinate of every point on,
That is why on the same one, like same for x-axis.
yes. So we did it in the example. Remember 5, comma 0. So 0 is same for the y ordinate or the x ordinate. Now come to the third. Third is to find the x-intercept of a graph x-intercepts of a graph, replace y by 0. Replace y by 0 in the equation of the graph. And the fourth point is same, just reverse of this one. To find y-intercepts
write that. It's okay. I can just copy it.
Okay. So the fourth point is to find y-intercepts of a graph, replace x by 0 in the equation of the graph. This is the fourth point. Now, fifth is, we have already learned actually, but I am giving you other name also. So whenever any competitive exam, you will be appearing for the USA. So USA or Canada, na? So in the terms we'll use that. So if you know it, then that would be so x comma y. In this, x is, as you know it, what is x? What you call it a x? X is a x ordinate or other name is x ordinate is abscissa. What is the name of x is abscissa. Write down the name. Abscissa. Same for y, you are calling y ordinate normally, but in other word, the length of the line segment of this, so y ordinate or ordinate of this, only ordinate. So sometimes they are using the new terminology for x and y. X is x ordinate or abscissa, and the second y is y ordinate or ordinate, simple ordinate. So when you write it x and y, and you know it where we will use these x's, right? So this chart will help you a lot in this Cartesian plane. Okay, whenever you have doubt, you can check it. Quadrant 1, we are talking about 2. Here is 3 and here is 4, as we have discussed the quadrant on the graph. Now, what is x quadrant? Always we come in x o y, right? As you can see the figure. Previous x dash o y for the second quadrant. Or should I write it in this way? Okay, so a quadrant 1 is x o y, where x is greater than 0 and y also is greater than 0. What does this mean? This means both the sign convention is positive in the first quadrant, as we have seen in the figure. Now x dash o y, where x is less than 0 and y is greater than 0. In this, which type of sign convention we have? Negative and the positive. Third was x dash o y dash. In this case, both are less than 0 and both are with the negative sign. And the fourth is x o y dash, which is x is greater than 0 but y is less than 0, where we have one is positive, one is negative. This chart is very useful for the study of the Cartesian. Okay, other thing I have already explained. So today's class I have explained the terminology, how you will plot the coordinate, ordinates, ordered pair, okay, abscissa, ordinate, everything. Any point on x, the point taken on x-axis represent a distance 0 from x-axis. Their ordinate is 0, that means the point x comma 0, the coordinate of point on x-axis is x comma 0 or negative x comma 0. So we will continue this topic in the next class.